So, apparently, the Jeffrey Epstein list has been released. Or at least the first 100 and something names out of the 1,000. To my knowledge, I think there's three more names that have been redacted and will eventually come out. And I think it's June the 21st, so mark your calendars. But it's odd, right? Because it's always been my opinion that, wealthy people such as like actors, politicians, they obviously live odd in lives and are weird. Like I just assume they're weird until told or shown otherwise. Like there's very few exceptions to this rule, such as Henry Cavill and Keanu Reeves. I mean, people who just go in, do their jobs, get out. I mean, that's on the actor side. On the politician side, uh, I don't know. I just sort of assume. I think AOC, but I think because she's mainly just dumb. Not really. She's just dumb. Now, is she corrupt? Probably, but I think she's just too dumb to really get into all that. But the thing is, with wealthy people such as that, like Epstein Island is just a place, was just a place to network. Now, unfortunately, they had things happening with underage kids, and by underage, like 16, 17-year olds, which legally is bad and fucking weird, regardless. Especially on an island and a resort with, you know, the wealthy and elite. But, they'd go here, they'd network. I mean, that's the only reason you do this other than, I guess, partying. It's like, oh, hey, you got Epstein, who is another wealthy guy who's well connected in the wealthy verse. And, you gotta get to know him and everything else. And it's odd because I don't think all of them couldn't have known what was going on in these resorts with the whole underage children thing or underage kids. And I know some of them probably knew and distanced. I mean, if association alone makes you guilty, that's just an odd precedent. I mean, maybe you knew, but like I said, you disassociated. Maybe you knew and didn't care, which is worst case scenario, or even you participated in that weird shit. But some of the names just doesn't look right. Like you see here, apparently Stephen Hawking was on the Epstein list, which is weird. But then you realize he wasn't in that wheelchair forever, right? His entire life. It didn't completely take hold. His ailment didn't completely take hold of them then, and you're like, oh. Because at first I seen that, I just died laughing. I was on the fucking floor. But then I'm like, no, wait a minute. Maybe he wasn't chair ridden. And obviously, Bill Clinton, Trump, unsurprisingly. I mean, again, you got wealthy people with other wealthy people doing wealthy people things. And most of them were on the list since 2021. Some of them refuted, some of them don't. And I do believe the list, we're going to get the sequel to this list. See, the list is going to release the way most EA games are released. So you'll have a third, or I guess in this case, a tenth of the game be released at first. Then you'll get the DLC later, which is another tenth of the game, or in this case, of the list. But at least it's free, right? It's free LC. Usually EA would pay you for things that are already in the game. They're just paywalled off. But apparently, the Epstein list, the movie, the game, the experience, it's free. And the question you also gotta ask is, will anything come of this? Probably not. Because there's probably just so many wealthy, so many powerful, so many elite people on this that they probably won't face any recollections of this or any repercussions. But I still do believe this list should exist regardless. Just so normies would understand, oh yeah, do you want to vote for this guy? Well, he was on the Epstein list. And again, I think that should just be a badge of dishonor. Even if they've, some of them has never taken part in that. I don't know who has or hasn't. I think it should just be a badge of dishonor, just smacked across your face, just to wear around so everyone sees and thinks, oh, look at this fucking weirdo. Yeah, he has a lot of money and influence, but he's fucking weird. And everyone can spit on them. But, and again, I don't believe a single thing will come from this. And obviously, more people are going to fight to keep their names off this list. I don't know. There's probably some other names that will probably be on here, but because the election's coming up for president, you probably won't see many other names until after that, for reasons, well, you probably already know. And maybe you'll see a couple, like, there are obviously names from 2021, but you might see a couple of new names show up. But again, I think people should have this on, because I know that Jeffrey Epstein totally didn't kill himself. Hashtag was trending, and millions of people, even like from where I was in college, right? So, and people from where I shopped to where I went to class with to where I worked, all unanimously agreed upon this. But right, we're the fucking peasants, remember? We don't know anything. We don't know much. See, they fear us, but we're also completely fucking stupid in comparison. So, and it's like the Panama Papers, right? But the reason people stop talking about that is the woman who released the Panama Papers got her car bombed while she was in it and died. So people didn't talk about the Panama Papers because they were legitimately afraid for their life. This, meh. I don't think the politicians really care. They're like, okay, what can they do about it? And I don't know. You know, you might have a couple of people, odd individuals seek retribution. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying this list is a good thing overall, even if not a single fucking thing comes from it. It's something that should be released. All the names should absolutely be released. Just so you have it lingering in the back of your mind when, say, I don't know, actors want to, moral high grandstand in front of you and on top of you, acting, trying to, tell you how you're supposed to be a moral and upstanding person, but they're on the Epstein list, and it's like, oh, yes, I see. It's like, so, but why are they telling us this? Oh, their job as an actor. Ah, I see. Or you have that politician who claims to be all for social justice, claims to be all for, all these, things that benefit them and no one else. But then you see, oh, hey, you're on the Epstein list. And it's like, oh, so is this really the person I should be getting my moral advice from? Nah, I don't think so. I think I'm going to get my moral advice from anime. Got him. From VTubers, because they're actually legitimately wholesome. You know? Or, from my parents. I mean, again, these mythical creatures called parents that you get most of your ideals from. And even if you don't have parents, I'd prefer that only over, politicians and actors shoving morality down your throat and getting it from them. Because fuck them, like I said, they're fucking weirdos. They're not your mom or dad. I don't think they should take that. But they legitimately want to, right? You know, they want to be the moral, upstanding human being despite making more money than you'll ever see in your life. You know, they want to talk about climate change despite polluting more than my entire city combined. City I live in combined. But yeah, you know, again, I do believe this is a good thing, regardless. What the fuck? I just sort of clicked on the first image. What the fuck is this? Totally made up Epstein. Well, man, I don't know. I can't find a good JPEG. Epstein's Island Visitors. But, you know, just read through it. Be like, oh, I see. So they were on the list. You know. And you know, just give it a read. You might be surprised. Some might surprise you. Some might be like, well, no fucking shit. And that's all I gotta say about this. Y'all have fun. Peace.